Hello everyone, this is Isabella with Angel Chantress Love. Today we are working with Yeshua to open up to receiving safely from the divine. In order to have a clear channel to receiving, we must first clear any false beliefs, projections from others, religious undertones, and anything else standing in the way of our receiving. So for my own ability to receive from others, I have experienced many lifetimes in which everything was taken from me. I would reach the height of success in a lifetime, whether that be in family, career, status, property, or love, and then I would experience an oftentimes violent loss. This would show up as losing family members, being exiled, losing my freedom, having my personal or physical properties taken from me, or losing generational wealth, home, and stability. These alternate lifetimes were often violent losses, which resulted in a loss of health, vehicles, homes, friendships, finances, reputation, businesses, my divine mission or destined path. This can place us in a position of fear, recycling memories, and continuing to attract those individuals and entities which are drawn back into our sphere in order to remind us of these events and trigger our old wounds so that we can heal. So let's begin clearing some of these blockages that you or your ancestors have experienced as well. If your ancestors did not clear their energy of these old wounds, they have been passed down in your DNA for you to clear for the family line, whether you were physically born into the lineage, married into the lineage, or were adopted into the lineage. If you were a generational curse breaker, then you have come to clear these patterns for these individuals as well as for yourself. I feel a very heavy, dark, energetic presence here, so let's clear this energy of fear and overwhelm from your field. Akamani aeo na akamane te akamani oeo na akamane tane yamana na eo na lave ani Alamaleo eso no asamatae, Alamaleo eo na alamakane, Alamaleo eo na abatane. Many times these energies feel entitled to abuse us as they've done in the past, so let's clear these energies of entitlement and reiterate that we are all sovereign divine souls born of the divine spark of God. We are the experiencing aspect of God in human form, and as multidimensional beings, we are living in these realities simultaneously. So breaking through these old energetic patterns will allow us to collapse these realities, which are no longer serving our highest and greatest good. So let's clear the energy of entitlement to use, abuse, mistreat, or be held in servitude to these lower entities. Osamea neo na asmiote, asameo io mana ecomiote, alaveo ivo, alaveo ne, alamio eso no asameo ne, io meo na, io meo ne, I'm being reminded of a life in which I was a black male who held strong political views and was taken into custody and locked in a dungeon. I was forced to watch the brutal butchering of my wife and children in that life and then left barely alive in a cell to remember every day what had happened. So let's clear any energies around captivity, freedom of expression, loss of loved ones, and violent crimes. Osamia na eo e asmia na sihoni asmio na e mane olamia ta io me alavio sa io me alameo kateoni alamiu savana e Alaveo amana he, olami to alake, alani ke so eto, alami so eso neo, alami eso iso mana, alami kone, yamana ka eo na, alamia ka eo nio, alamia ka eo no ka, alameo ka alaveko, alami so ne. Alameo sanalateo, alameo saio meo, alameo saio maka, alameo kane. I see several times in which vehicles were repossessed, impounded, stolen. I'm seeing a chop shop for someone as well, so let's clear all of these energies. Ekamanata esota akamane so itoka alamane ka evo evo alamnameano alamiota eutona alamiata euniko alamiaka eosoma alamioka eudoma alameoka eoveko alameoka no. I'm being shown scenes of wars and hostile takeovers. There are armed guards on the streets and curfews, people evading being drafted into the military. So any loss of freedom around that, having our free will choices taken away by others and being taken away from our loved ones and potentially never returning in that lifetime. Let's also clear any loss of life or limb and clear for the families who experience the loss of the people taken from them as well. I see a woman in black who's grieving. Akanea otanaeo vianalaeo sianalaeo. Akaveo nio sanalaeo itonolale samiatanalae. Akameo navani avataeo ila atala eto itamala atane. Ola meo ina ala eo nio ala 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 veo la ala eo ni ala e. Ola miana la seo tio ala eto tanala e kinika ala e sanio ta ama e. I see a beautiful generational home that is in the process of being sold off. The husband has gambled away the family fortune and made poor investments without the family's knowledge. The family is watching in despair as their possessions and vehicles are being taken away, and they are served paperwork that they're being evicted from the home. They will soon be homeless unless they're able to stay with other family members or their children are able to marry well. Their dowries have been drained. So let's clear this as well as any loss of generational wealth and family inheritance that is due to you. Oh, Naviana he ho. Oh, Laviana he. Iano saneo to alavio se. Olavieto nama elatiatane. Olamieko eso atala yesone. Olamieko nasa elamieto he. Yamanala eosona alamisone. Alameo na olaito alamiotane. As we change and our souls grow, we often experience a loss of friendships and familiar relationships with others who choose not to grow at the same rate or go in a different way. So let's clear the energies around that and recognize that everyone will shift when they are ready and called to do so. For some, it may take longer to hear and be willing to follow their guidance. So let's release in love, understanding that we will come together in another time and place or just in spirit, respecting everyone's individual path and not holding on so tightly that we impede our own path or that of another. Akateo ta itamala ekasio no kala veko etonio samana esonoa etovio tala ekomiane. Asavola esoviana meona mea saneo itomala e. Ola mikola sana ekonia savea savio tavala e. Akameo tanala ekomala etonala ekovio e. I'm hearing I am giving you your freedom. Akamio na kaito tai soviala sone. As I give you your freedom, my freedom returns to me as well. Okamana esonova taio sanoa esanala ekonola e. Amane ola ola namae. I see some corporate downsizing, layoffs, business closures, and embezzlement. So let's clear any financial hardship, ruin, poor investment choices, manipulation. I see dark contracts being signed in desperation. So let's break all dark contracts. By the blood of Christ and in Jesus' name, we are free of them, and call back your energy to you. I see people in the Great Depression, food lines, no work, unemployment. So let's clear all of the income and business loss which has occurred. Ekatamane o etuotomana e kochiamana e oisamana e oviono la la e osiani e omiona la e omioni alame osiana la e osiane alamio e sonola la e kote alaveo ikovana e ovekane alaveko ni otona ana e kati alaveko namakana mekani. I see a fancy ball with a large gathering of people dressed in their finest attire. There's dancing and lavish displays of food and business deals. People are gossiping and pointing at others and commenting on how they're dressed, who they're related to, whether they have fortune, if it was ill-gotten. There's flirting and jealousy and introductions being made. So let's clear any issues around how people perceive us, any concerns around slander, especially to gain favor in the eyes of another while tearing others down, and any loss of reputation. Oketia akateane, oketia akateane, okatiana leo ikamana eomikana na eovikane, alaveko isanaka akaneka alatika nalala ekatiane, okamiana ana alavekane. Oi vekanio la vekane ala vikona na kaveane ola mikana la eomikane ala meko anamala akameone. Spirit showing me a vision of pouring water over this group of women who are gossiping and slandering others. Okay, there are many individuals and entities who choose not to do the spiritual work, which is required to obtain certain spiritual gifts and the ability to unlock certain spaces within the spiritual world. This leads people to dark magic and attempted destiny swaps, where the individual believes they have the right to the gifts which are hard-earned by another person. So they'll perform rituals to try and take these gifts from the ones who have worked so diligently to obtain them through their right actions. This can happen through people spellbinding another and core dumping their toxic energies into a light worker's energy field and siphoning the energy of the light worker for their own purposes, leaving them drained, weak, and unable to complete their mission. It places them in harm's way and makes them feel like the universe is against them, but really it is the way these individuals feel about themselves, that they are so disconnected from the divine by their own poor choices, that they hold so much self-hatred and anger that they try to project that onto everyone around them so they don't have to face their own inner demons and heal. But this doesn't actually work. And eventually they're just creating so much more karmic debt, which they will have to endure because they have tried to place all of this on another. No one can do your healing work for you. You absolutely must do the work yourself in order to be free of the karmic recycling patterns. So please don't add any more burden to yourself or another, and understand that the light workers are sent by the divine in order to illuminate the shadow self in others so they can recognize and heal and return back to the love of Source, who is so willing and able to forgive. But this does not free anyone from having to balance the scales, because the universe always demands balance. So you'll still have to go through what you have put others through in order to learn a better way. But the divine may offer you mercy and grace if you're willing to surrender to doing what is best for all. So let's lift these destiny swap spells and bring in radical forgiveness for all, as forgiveness frees our soul. Etionai ovei avanai omi alavio eovona laveo teone alamio esonoa maneo itoi ala vio e avala e ovona tame, ala vico e ovocana veo tione, ala mio e samana e somia sana e, aka meo e canio aka veo teoni, ala mio e sanala e sonio sane, ala mio e samana e sovata I, ala iko e onoka ala eko teone, ala miko e omola ala eko iome. I'm hearing what's mine is mine, what's yours is yours. Return to sender. Eko meo e tonaka e toika naka e, asanio e kanoa, kanio e kane, ala vio e ovona, ala vio e vane, ala vio e ovona, ala ve kaneo e. So for me, I know that these losses created a false belief where I would only allow myself to receive small blessings rather than everything I was asking for, because I believed that at least when someone would inevitably come forward to block or take the blessings I received from me, at least if I only received a little, that it would not hurt as much to lose it again. Even when all of my bills are paid on time and in full, there can remain this shadow of energy where my heart will skip a beat until I see that something I own is still present in my life. So let's clear any trust issues which have arisen as a result of all of these lifetimes and all of this loss, and any additional fear which has risen during this clearing session. Oketea mia aka eo vego kia na eko mia kaya nala e kani kanala e ekatia o kanala e kasea naka o akaneo sia maka ala eo vikane o samia akateo o kanala ekave ikamana ekaseo o kanala ekati akameo ekatsia akanala ekato akaneo tia ama a aya akano ekavona aka ala veka ia vakane akaveo ikanala ekani kanala e ekamia akanala ekanala akani akamia akanala ekania akane. I'm hearing bring in peace, so let's add that energy as well. O se mio e samana e o soma e soni e somona asamia asania asanioi akamio sanaka ala e kania se akameo ikanala aka ana akame. Several weeks ago, when I was addressing these concerns with Jesus, he showed me that at my birth, my hands were bound by dark magic to prevent me from manifesting for myself on the planet. He used the word conjoined and showed my hands in front of me with my elbows pointing to the sides and my fingers interlaced, and the skin was grown over the fingers like webbing. This was meant to prevent me from fulfilling my spiritual missions on the planet and to create loss and a rerouting of my light energy to dark forces for their own use. So let's call in the Great White Brotherhood and Jesus to dispel any dark magic rituals which may have been performed in this and any other lifetime on you or your lineage. Okatea tama akaneo okavana e ekaveo noka ala eko mia sana e eko meo e sanio kamala ekavi ala veo sia nala e so mia asani ala teo io mona ala eo mia ne ala veo io vana e. I break all spell work by the blood of Christ, and in Jesus' name I break all seals. Akameo tea nola akamio ekana. I call back my power. Akameo seo noka ala esomio ne asamio osanala ekonia se akateo kamia ala eo ene ala mio onamala ala meo nikane. I'm hearing left at the altar. So that's happened to someone. So let's go ahead and clear any abandonment energies around being left by lovers, parents, caretakers, friends. I'm hearing the word shunned and the word betrayed. So let's clear all of that. Oe meo eo neo ala meo eo I ala mio io deo ala veo deo ni ala vio eo vio zia zio zona e ala zio zeo zona ala io sikane ala sio mona eo eso nio achane ala veo ia vakanala ala vakane. So it's really important to keep your channel of receiving open. You can do this by helping others to receive. I was at the grocery store the other day and an elderly woman was asking two store employees where a particular product was located, and neither of them was being very helpful, but I felt that I knew where it was, and even though I wasn't going down that particular aisle, I could see that it was important to her, so I walked up the aisle and was able to locate the product and I offered it to her. She thanked me and I went about my day. I think she thought that I worked there. Just a simple act of kindness, though, can open you up to receiving and allowing others to support you as well. And that uplifts their day, too. So allow yourself to receive. Another way you can keep your channel to receiving open is to express gratitude for everything that's already in your life. When I hear people complain, I'm reminded of everything that it took for me to receive all that I have. And when you think about the clothing that you wear and the designer who had the idea and the material and the craftsmanship and the workers who created it and the people who created the building they work in and the retail shop that sells it and the employees who assist you and the people who stock the racks and the delivery drivers, the advertisements, the contractors, the people that make the tags and displays. There's literally so much that goes into you having either that beautiful gown or that simple t-shirt. All of these people served and uplifted your life so that you could be clothed. And if you think about the food, the shelter, the electricity, the clean water, the sewer systems, the transportation, the roadways, the appliances, the entertainment, the communication systems, there's so very much to be grateful for. Every time that we have cold temperatures, I'm thanking God for the roof over my head, the heat, the lights, the food. I have to laugh when I see someone complaining about how they didn't get the junk food they wanted or the latest fad. And just remember to be grateful, and you'll bring even more of your desires into your life. Akateo siya maka eo seya nakane eo via ala eso ia maka ana eo vea nia aka ala eo siya ne io soma ana eo ona ama ia te aka meo ikenala eso ia maka ne ala io ona akamana e. Mother God once told me that no one can take from you that which you truly own. So let's bring in the energy of that belief. O esamio e asami e o anana e o ani o alavi o lave alavo asiamo seamo siano e siaola e siano I alasi, alano. Mother God is also reminding us that sometimes a loss is to our benefit. Sometimes we have to let go of certain things, certain people, certain patterns. The miraculous galactic beings that surround and support us daily will give you signs that what you're requesting is on its way to you. So clear any blocks as they arise. Those blocks are not meant to discourage you, but rather to show you any false beliefs which must be removed to progress along your path. So let's send thanks to all of the unseen beings that are always here for us, and call in everyone across the galaxy that we are in loving connection with, who desires our highest and greatest good, and ask for their support moving forward on our path as well. Eta mia ona e kania kana e kamia kanala e kana ana e kamona akavea e kavana e kave e kavia no kalala e ane kania e o kameo i sanala e kosea ni kane akameo i kanaka aka ana me kose ola meka ia sana ala e koniane akameo I kanala ala akameone. I'm being reminded of, I was walking in a nature park the other day, and I felt the presence of my guardian angel, Keith, who just wrapped his arms around me as I was walking and just bringing love and comfort and support into my life, into my energy. And he wants you to know that your angels are always with you and watching over you, and your protectors are there as well. So never hesitate to call on their presence and their protection so that you can feel their support in your life, help encourage you on your path. Sending you so much love and so many blessings.